5 years back, when I was head of sales and marketing for Indica, the Tata Group, and I was writing that my own aspirations in terms of what I want to do in life change. And in the last year or two, I've done some interesting things. Some of it might be relevant to you. I took a sabbatical last year for a year and went to Georgetown University in Washington DC as a Yahoo Fellow, and taught a course on how businesses, civil society organizations, and governments can use online communities and social media to connect with their customers. Okay? So I taught it across Masters in International Affairs Department and the Masters in Cultural Communications and Technology Department. Also did research on social media in emerging big countries, Brazil, India, China especially. So in some sense, a lot of people outside India know me because of that work. Now, also last year, I started a project called Vote India, which was a citizen-driven election monitoring platform, where people send text messages from the polling booth. So Jabare was asking people to go out and vote, and we were a much smaller project. We were asking people, when you go out and vote, after you voted, send us a text message saying what was your voting experience, did you see any election irregularities and so on. And this would get mapped on a very pretty Google map, and if you click on any of the buttons on the map, then you'll see how many irregularities happen in that location. So I'll just show you some of those things. Now we're in a company called 2020 Social, which is a for-profit company. We're a mix between a digital agency and a niche consulting firm. We focus on building online communities, and it's a mix of work, some purely commercial work, like we're working for United Spirit on the Royal Challenges Bangalore cricket community, and a community around consumption occasions, called Spirits and More, so a lifestyle community. So there's work like that on an extreme. On the other hand, there's work like we're doing for DELH, which is an ideation platform, an ideation community where consumers give ideas on how to redesign, reuse, recycle gadgets so that they become more green. So it's in the CSR space. We've done some work like that. And then we've done purely non-commercial work where I'm working with Janagraha, which is the Jagare Uttarakhand. Now I'm helping them build a community called iJanagraha, which is a very strong location-based citizen action community. Yeah, so it's a full range of work. Why am I talking about how to scale passion? That you were expecting a session on social media. Is anybody asking themselves that question right now? Yeah. It must seem a little odd that somebody was coming and speaking to you about social media. It's something about scaling passion. What's the connection between social media and scaling passion? Anybody? What might be the connection? Why are we talking about this and not about how to use Facebook and Twitter? There are no wrong answers to this, yeah?
To bridge the gap between the corporates and the normal motivator.
That's also one answer.
We need to be sensitive towards certain groups or social groups or certain communities existing in a society. And you need to have a passion for that. Now, I'm not talking about doing social work and just going out there, but passion in one sense is like in a Gandhian view that he says that you don't need to go directly to help the rural, the middle class. The middle class can actually document or research, for example, a khadi worker in Gujarat or a craftsman. Definitely, on the other hand, work or social works are going on in that aspect. But I think he's saying that how the middle class pitch in or how the young can pitch in. It's not just directly helping them out. They don't even need that. They're very happy in their livelihoods also. So it's an engagement, it's a sensitivity, it's also the need to approach them. That's
Let me ask you a different question. What is it that you do in your organizations? What is it that you do really? Yeah, on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you're doing different things. I see that a lot of you come from a library, information management background. Yeah. So on a day-to-day basis, you might be doing different things. But at the organization level, at the level of what is your mission, what is the mission of your organization, what is it that your organizations are trying to do? Yeah.
Proper communications.
For what?
For achieving the goal of the organization.
What is the goal of the organization?
Goal is the profit. Goal is the profit.
Goal is the profit?
No.
Goal is to bring about change,
Yeah.
To make people educated.
disseminate knowledge. What else?
From the commercial perspective,
Reach out to people, networking. I heard something here.
from the commercial perspective, the corporates are main objective is the profit.
Even for non-profits, fundraising is a maybe an objective. Fundraising is certainly an objective. Yeah.
Work of organization.
Is that the main objective? Why do you want the organization to grow in the end? What is the ultimate objective? Yeah. If you become from 10 people to 100 people, is that a big objective, or are the 100 people working towards solving some other objective? Yeah.
Enhancing their capacities and skills so that they empower and they can better their life.
Increase the capacity of who?
Of the people who
We
are
are working
at the
Okay.
field level, you can say.
Okay.
Sustainability.
Sustainability. Okay.
Conservation.
Conservation. Yeah. So, like I said, depending on which organization you're from, you may have different specific objectives. Yeah, you may have objectives on reducing child labor. Yeah, or environmental sustainability, or conservation, or labor rights, or multiple objectives. Yeah. My submission is that, what many of your organizations are trying to do really is this. Yeah. And if they're not doing this, then they should be trying to do this. They should be saying, we should be looking at people who are passionate. We should be building our organizations around passion. And this passion may be for conservation. This passion may be for making sure that every child in India is educated, is literate. This passion may be for equal rights for women, or whatever that passion may be. But there has to be a passion, because several of your organizations are volunteer driven. Yeah. Why would somebody volunteer for your organization? Why would somebody give donations to your organizations? Yeah. It's driven by passion. Yeah. And my submission is that if you reinterpret what the organization is doing in terms of saying we are identifying the people, a handful of people, maybe the founders of the organization, maybe some of the core employees in the organization, maybe a bunch of volunteers who you know firsthand. We're identifying those people who are passionate about our cause. Yeah. And then we are trying to say, how can we take the passion of these handful of people and scale it to hundreds and thousands of people, 10,000s of people? Yeah. Is that a worthy cause? Is that a worthy objective to work towards?
Yeah, it reminds of my boss, you can say. He's very passionate about the work we do, the organization. Even though he has been offered a lot of jobs, he doesn't switch over to those. They have been working for the last 2 years. So when you speak all this, so it reminds me of him.
Yeah.
So,
Because all your organizations were probably started by somebody who was passionate about some cause, something. Yeah. And then they said, let us get half a dozen other people who are also passionate about this cause. And we have an organization certainly. And what is the next step after that? Let us get some volunteers who are passionate about this cause. And what is the next step after this? Let's get some people who are so passionate that they not only donate time, they also donate some money. Although time is often more important than money. And then the next step in this is, instead of half a dozen or a dozen or 100 people who are passionate about this cause, how can we get thousands of people to be passionate about this cause as much as we are passionate? Yeah? I think that's a worthy objective to work towards. I started talking about how to scale passion in the context of another talk I give very often, which is what can entrepreneurs and marketers learn from activists? Yeah. And one of the things that I would always go and tell marketers and entrepreneurs is that activists work towards doing this. Yeah. And you need to learn from them how to do this. And then as I kept speaking to them, and as I kept speaking to more activists themselves, more non-profit organizations themselves, I realizing more and more that sometimes even non-profits forget that this is what they're really trying to do. Yeah. And therefore, now every time I speak to non-profits, I also try to bring it back to what is it that you're trying to do, and everything, all the knowledge dissemination. Why do you disseminate knowledge? Why do you want to spread information? Why do you want to do fundraising? Because you want to do this in the end. Yeah. And if you're able to do this, then everything else will fall into place. This is the starting point of all of it. Money coming in, volunteers coming in, engagement coming in, people going out and writing petitions on your behalf, people going out and organizing events on your behalf, yeah? People going out and actually changing things on your behalf. But if this is not there, then none of that will happen. Yeah? So I'd like to start with the question by reframing what we're trying to do here and saying, what we're trying to do here is that we're trying to identify passion and then find ways to scale it from a handful of people to hundreds and thousands of people. Yeah? That's the first part of my submission. The second part of my submission is that online communities are a good way, and social media and the internet and mobile, these technologies are good ways to scale passion. Yeah? If you've already ignited the passion, then these tools are good ways to scale it and to spread it. But unless there is passion at the core of it, you can't spread anything. Yes? Yeah? You know, you have dry grass, and children play this game sometimes, and then people teach children in science classes. You take a lens and you focus sunlight on dry grass and you ignite a little fire, and then you put more dry grass into it and it spreads. Yeah. First, you have to ignite it, and you have to remember that you're trying to ignite a fire here, and then you say, let's spread it. I think many of us, whether we are marketers or entrepreneurs or activists, we've forgotten that you can only spread fire when there's fire to begin with. Yeah. Okay. But with these two ways to frame this question, let me start off with this. So I have a lot of slides. We don't have to go through all of those slides. A lot of examples of how people are doing a good job of scaling passion. Please feel free to stop me at any point of time, raise your hand, ask a question.